Hi students, welcome back. Coming to the next topic, that is objects and classes. So these are the main major pillars that are used in the object oriented programming language. So what are the objects and classes? So objects are nothing but you call it as an instance of a class. So object is nothing but instance of class. So class is nothing but a collection of objects. So you can observe the difference here. So class depends upon the object, whereas object is also depends upon the class. So object is nothing but it is an instance of class, whereas class is nothing but it is a collection of object. So what it means exactly? So let us discuss one by one. So first objects, after that class. Then you understand what is the difference between these two. Object. So object is a piece of code. It is a piece of code which represents the real life entity. The real life entity. Okay. So object is nothing but it is a piece of code which represents the real life entity. So this object consisting of, suppose if you take a car, okay, so a car consisting of means some attributes and functionality. Okay, so car consisting of attributes and functionality. So attributes are like nothing but it is the color of the car. Okay, so and the speed, how much speed it goes. Okay, those are the attributes that are related to the car. Whereas a functionality means get fuel, get speed. Okay, so these are called the functionality of the car. So the color and speed you call it as a variables or a data members. Okay, variables or data members. So the color and the speed of a car you call it as a variables and data members. Whereas a functionality get fuel and get speed you call it as a functions or methods. Okay, so this object is a piece of code which represents a real life entity. So this is completely real life entities that are present in the object. So this real life entity consisting of the attributes like color, speed, and the functionalities means the functions like get fuel and get speed. So these will be related to the car. So that is an object. Now coming to the class. So what is this? A class. A class is it is a collection of objects. So what is a class? Is consisting of a collection of object. So here you can say a class student. So a class, a student is there. A student consisting of some roll number, name, marks. Okay, so marks and curriculum progress and extracurricular activities. So those are the curricular activities or extracurricular activities. So these are all the attributes and the functions that are called placed in the class student. Okay, so these are all the specifications. So whatever you are declared here, these are all the specifications of objects. So once you declare this in the class, you can reuse these objects and these can be encapsulated in the objects. So these are the specifications of objects. So that's why we call class is nothing but a collection of objects. So this class can be called whenever you're declaring the object. So suppose the student S, if you just call a student S, So here the student is nothing but it is a class. The class name is a student and this is the object. So whenever you call this, all these attributes will be called in the object. So object S. So all the student attributes, so all the student specifications, so whatever the specifications here, these are all the specifications of object. So that's why whenever you require these specifications, you just call student class name with object name. Then all these specifications will be placed called in the object. Okay, so that you call it as a class. So let us see with an examples, then you can clearly understand what is a class and then what is an object. Okay, so let us take one example. A real-time examples we will take. Suppose a class is there and object. Class, object. Suppose a car is there. So this is a car. Okay, so here the class is a structure. Class is a structure where we can define variables, and methods to utilize by objects. So in the class you just call it as a structure. Okay, it's just a blueprint, or else you can call the class is a blueprint. So only it is a structure. In this structure we just define the variables and methods. These variables and methods will be utilized by objects. So here this car is a class. So let us take the object. So what is object? So this is one car. Okay, so this is another car. Okay, so here the object means this is a car, which is a blueprint. Here this structure can define the variables and methods, and these will be utilized in these objects. So this car consisting of, suppose, different companies like Audi, BMW and i20. So these are the different cars. Okay, these car companies will use the variables and methods from the blueprint. Actually all the cars consisting of engines, okay, all the car consisting of the body parts, all the cars will take the fuels. Okay, so these objects will come from the main blueprint car. So this is a car, class car. So the car may be any of the type. It's maybe the Audi or the BMW or i20. Okay, so this car class is a structure where we can define the variables and methods. These variables and methods will utilized by these objects. Okay, so that is one of the example. In other words, we can in other way, without object we can use only the static functions of class. That means the first thing is, without class objects does not exist. Without class object does not exist. That's a true. Okay, without the blueprint of the car you cannot implement the Audi car or the BMW or i20. The first it needs some blueprint. Okay, before they are creating different cars, the car has to be developed. From that only they acquired the properties of that car and they added some more features and they released the different versions of the car. Okay, so without class object does not exist. So in other way, without object we can use only static functions of class. What it means? So I said without class, without this class car, you does not exist these different versions. So without objects, Without objects means here this Audi, BMW or I-20 are different objects. Without the objects, we can use only static function of cars. Okay, so if you don't have the Audi, if you don't have BMW or if you don't have I-20, you can have the car, but it's having only the static functions. Means it doesn't have all the latest versions or the latest extra features will not be there. Only the car will be there. That car would be only the static function of car is there. Okay, so without class it won't be there. If class is not, object will not there. If class is not there, objects will not work. Okay, if suppose the object is not there, class may there, but it is only the static function. It doesn't have any dynamic features. It is only the static function. So that is the main difference between the class and the object. Did you get it? So without class, object doesn't exist. So without object, class may exist, okay, with only the static features. So that is the main difference between this class and the object. So let us take some more examples. Okay, you have to understand this class and object clearly. So that's why I'm taking so many examples. Okay, because if you don't understand what is a class and what is an object, you can't implement the program. The main thing in the object oriented programming, or the main pillars, building blocks, are the class and the object itself. So let us see another example. Suppose if you take the saving bank account. Saving bank account is a class. So class name is the saving bank account, and the variables here are the account number, account holder name. Okay, so those are the suppose the variables that are used in the class. A person who has having the savings, a person who has saving bank account, you call it as an object. So here the person is an object. Okay, person is an object, whereas a saving bank account is a class. So he has his own identity like account number, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the account holder name as ABC, like that. So many people, so many people means so many objects have saving bank. Is it right? So many people can have in the saving bank account. So the saving bank here is the class, and the so many people are the objects. So all can be called by using saving bank account, like S.P1, S.P2, S.P3, like that. So here the S is the saving bank related to the class. So in the class we are having the object P1, object P2, object P3. Means this is one person's account, and this is the second person's account, and this is a third person account. Okay, so objects may be so many, but the class is only here. The one class saving bank will be used by different peoples, so many people, so many objects. You can call like this S.P1. So saving bank account the class, and the P1 is the person who is having that account, saving bank account. P2 is a person who accessing the saving bank account. P3 is a person who accessing the saving bank account. Okay, so this is another example. So let us take one more thing, then you can understand clearly and you will get a clear idea about the objects and the class. Example, general examples. Let us take, if you take orange, what is orange? Orange is an object. Then class of fruit class, right? So orange is an object of fruit class. So here this orange is an object from fruit class. So fruit is a class name. So this fruit may be having the objects like orange, apple, okay, grapes. So this is a fruit is a class, whereas orange, apple, grapes are the objects. And another example, chair. Chair is an object of class, can you guess it? Of class furniture class. Okay, so chair is an object of furniture class. So if you take the furniture class, in that furniture you are having the chairs, sofas, beds. Okay, so this is the class and these are the objects. Another thing, so let us take Google Chrome. So everyone is using definitely use the Google Chrome. So Google Chrome is an object of class. Which class? It's a browser class. So if you take any browser, in that browser you can access the Google Chrome, okay, or the Internet Explorer, okay, whatever you want, okay, Mozilla, like that. Okay, so those are the classes and these are the objects. So Google Chrome is an object of class, browser class. So these are the different examples of the class and object. So let us see the difference with some points. So up to now we had seen the different examples of what are the class and what is an object. So I'll just note down this difference. So class is a, you call it as a data type. Okay, so whereas object is an instance of class. So in the starting I already said object is nothing but it is an instance of class. So next, the class can generate objects. Class generate objects, whereas object, it gives life to class. Okay, so the class main thing is it's only generates the object, it doesn't give anything information, it only generates the objects like variables and that object which uses the variables and the functions, whereas an object gives the life to class. And next, coming to another example, another difference. Third, it does not, you have to remember this point, this does not occupy memory location. So class doesn't occupy the memory location, whereas object occupies the memory location. So class only generates the object, it doesn't do anything. Okay, it generates the object, whereas object will give the life to the class. Whereas class doesn't occupy any memory location in the while doing the programs, only the objects will occupy the memory location. Now coming to another difference, that is class cannot be manipulated. Cannot be manipulated. Because why it is cannot manipulated? Because it is not having available. It is not available in memory except static class. So I said in the car example, okay, so it's only if you doesn't use the object, it only works under the static class, means it doesn't have any features to manipulate. When you will manipulate the program, when you can change the program, whenever that program is stored in the memory. Okay, but the class doesn't occupy any memory location, so that's why it is not available in memory. Because of that reason, it cannot be manipulated. Whereas objects, it can be manipulated. Okay, so that is the main difference between the class and the object. So in this video, I had explained what is a class and what is an object, and different real-time examples for the class and the object, and this is the difference between the class and the object. I hope you will understand what is a class and what is an object. You will get one idea about that class and object. Thank you.